Hi, everybody. My name is Judy Ramirez-Villanueva. I'm a real estate agent over at eXp Realty. I'm making this video today because my husband is a law enforcement officer and a few of his coworkers started asking questions regarding financing options for men and women in uniform. And so I decided to reach out to my friend Gloria Gonzales Jackson, who is also married to a former corrections officer. And so I decided to pick her brain regarding special financing options available to the men and women in uniform. So I hope you find this informational. I will definitely share her information with you guys so that you can reach out to her and ask her more questions regarding options that are available to you guys.
Yes.
Gloria, thank you so much for doing this. I have known you for a really, really long time, but we're going to share this video with people who don't know you. So tell us how long you've been doing loans.
Oh, well, a very long time. I've been in this industry for almost 26 years. I started in this business when Norwest Mortgage was a thing, now known as Wells Fargo. So I spent most of my career with Wells Fargo for 18 years and currently with Planet Home Lending, which is direct lender.
And so you are definitely in the know about these programs that are available to them. And if somebody was going to buy their first house, maybe didn't have a lot of savings just yet, right? Because they're just getting started in this business, you have options for them. And that's kind of what I wanted to discuss with you, is just to give them an idea of what's out there so that they can see like, okay, is this the right time for me to make a move? Or do I keep making someone else's mortgage payment by paying rent? So maybe you can go into detail a little bit about what those grants look like that you were mentioning, because a grant just means free money. Now, we know there's no such thing as a completely free lunch. It has a catch like everything else. So would you explain a little bit about that?
Exactly. So our Platinum program, the GFSA program, is an awesome program. That is the one that does offer down payment assistance for closing costs and or down payment.
Okay.
That will help you go in. Then first responders, teachers, nurses, law enforcement, they do, it isn't a silent second for them. It is actually a grant that they don't have to pay back. So that to me, I think has been probably the better program. They offer FHA financing. They offer conventional financing. Again, a discussion that is had between the buyer and me to see which one best fits their needs. But I think the grant part of it is like, okay, you're letting me borrow money. Obviously, there's you're right. There's no, freebie. It's tied to their rates. But I always like to show that as an option because, like you go to a restaurant, right? It's not going to see one thing on the menu, right? You've got to see several things in the menu and see what they look like to see like, you know what? I think that's the one that's going to work for me right now. And I want everyone to kind of stop and think that this is your first home. So knowledge is power. Know everything that you need to know about every program so that you can make that knowledgeable decision. But CalHFA is also a great program out there.
So this is another CalHFA for like people who don't speak the loan language, right? Is another down payment
assistance program. Absolutely. And they give you two silent seconds that you can use, and there are no monthly payments on, and you do pay interest on it, but again, it's your first home, and if
you pay it back once you sell your house.
Exactly.
Right, that one does get paid back. Okay. Do you have to keep your house for a certain period of time with the law enforcement one, the grant? Like, do you have to live in it for?
Well, you automatically sign a 1-year owner occupancy when you sign your docs. Yeah, but no, after that.
Statistically speaking, most people will stay in their first house 5 to 7 years. So just remember, it's not your last house, doesn't have to be your dream house. But let's say you just wanted to buy something so that you're not paying someone else's mortgage.
Exactly. And investing in yourself, investing in your family, and I've seen a lot of people that say, yeah, this is my first home. And they get on track where they end up keeping it as a rental and as an asset. Yeah, so for me, sense. I see that even, further up to say, it's our first home. So it doesn't matter at that moment. It's all about that. It matters because you're investing in your family and your family's future. Yeah.
Absolutely. That makes sense. And then the seconds that you were talking about with CalHFA, those never fall off. You always will have the silence. It's like a second mortgage on your house that you aren't making payments on. You are paying a little bit of interest. And so if you go to sell your house 5 years from now, you'll just have to deduct that from that one. But that's if you don't have a lien, right? That's if you don't have your down payment saved up, if you don't have enough for closing costs. Because in today's market, we are not getting closing costs paid for by the seller. So
No.
it's easy to say that on a $500,000 house, let's say, you could have what, 10 to 15,000 just in closing costs, maybe.
Well, I always tell my buyers, I know in our FHA program, you're required to put 3.5 down. And I always let them know, I would anticipate another 3% for closing costs, for prepaids, for all of that. So I always tell them 6% right off the top. You're 3.5 down and you're 2.5 to 3% for your closing costs, because you're right. Sellers
they're not going to pay their closing costs right now because there's somebody else who will take it without asking for closing costs.
Exactly.
So on a $500,000 house, you're saying you need about 30, right? Yep. So your down payment plus your closing costs. However, if you don't have 30,000, which most first-time home buyers don't, you have these options available.
Exactly. And I mean, is it going to cover everything? Absolutely everything? No, it's not. You do have to come in with some money, but you don't have to come in with all of it.
Okay.
So, and that's the key. It's getting you in the door with as minimal as you can to not only get you in the door and still leave you with a little bit, because some people do have some savings but prefer not to use it all.
Right.
This is a great option for them to say, keep your savings. I love the security net. I love for you to have that, you know. Always talk to them as a parent first.
Use it as reserves. Help yourself if you struggle making your payments. I agree.
I mean, and look at what hit us, COVID. Right. I mean, who would have thought? Exactly. So you always want to be prepared for life, because life is. Yeah. So again, I think that's where, I mean, we both kind of play that key in coaching them and making sure that they understand it all, so that they make that right decision for themselves.
Let's say somebody wants to call you and just have you run their numbers. What are you going to require from them? What do you need to see? Because I know you do a good job of checking.
I always require their income. I want to verify their income. Yes, will they have to update that if it takes a little longer to find a home? But for me, I would rather give them a secure approval and know that, we're good to go.
And once you review everything, a couple of options in black and white, and then they'll decide which one best fits, their life or whatever they need. But let's say somebody wants to call you. What do you recommend they have handy just before they reach out to you?
I would say income is the main thing, because assets, I mean, we can do gift funds, we can do down payment funds. I do want to touch base on that so that they know what their expectations are, what they're going to need to the table. A lot of times they go, wow, why is closing costs so high? What they have to stop and think that closing costs isn't just about closing costs. It's about prepays, paying the 1-year homeowner's insurance, putting away taxes in their impound account and insurance in their impound account. So it's not just all costs, it's also deposits for their future payments. So so when they see that number, they just think, oh, that's ridiculous, I can't do it. But I think that if you explain to them how that works, they go, oh, okay, that's doable. So pay stubs, income, I think would be like the main thing.
Okay.
Because
if I'm going to call you, I need to have like my pay stub ready and
W-2s for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Yep. So income, I think for me is like the number one thing. I need to make sure that, and especially for these down payment assistance programs, because a lot of them are income,
Are they capped with income? Oh, okay. So that's good to know.
You buy. FHA, if you go FHA with the platinum, it goes off FHA guidelines. But if you go conventional, they have their own income limits.
And then credit score limits too, I'm sure.
640.
Okay. And you'll check their credit. Obviously, you'll run that for them and let them know where they stand.
Yep.
If somebody can't do anything right now, I'm sure you can offer a few pointers.
We coach them up. Coach them up, and they're
not just going to be like, sorry, can't help you. Bye.
No, because I think that our job is to knowledge, tell them where they need to be, kind of coach them going forward, because although they're not our buyer right now, they will be our future buyer. And that's our investment with them, is to do that.
We plan on doing this for a little while longer still. So if they're ready right now, we can help them.
Yeah. Like I said, I always come across and I always ask for permission. I was like, okay, I'm going to give you my mom advice first. If I step over the line, let me know. I go, and then I'm going to turn my loan officer face, and then I'll let you know it's a loan officer. But for me, I coach as I would coach my own family member, because, why would you do any different? You want to make sure they're making the right decision for them. You want to make sure you're putting them in a good place, because I want them to remember me as like, oh my gosh, that's the lady that helped me find my loan, versus she should have known better.
Yeah.
She knew. Absolutely. She saw everything,
Yeah.
So we've been in this business this long because we do right, by everybody involved. And that's important, I think, especially now in this time and that we're in, this market that we're in. It's important that we make our buyers a priority and we do right by them. Yeah,
absolutely. Sure. That's awesome, Gloria. Thank you. So I think, let's say somebody wanted to reach out to you and just say, hey, check my credit. Here's what I make. Call, text, email. What's the best way to get in touch with you? I know
Whatever
you're a busy lady, so.
Yeah. You know what? I always ask them what their best communication for them, because I know everybody's busy. Law enforcement nurses, they all kinds of have crazy hours. So I always that's one of the questions that I do ask them when they initially call me, like, what's the best way to communicate with you? Is it text? Is it email? Is it phone call? Because of these hours that they work and I don't want to wake them up. But normally we kind of just do a conversation over the phone. They usually give me a call. I'll send them the link to my website, and we'll always start with the application. And I'll just review it, and then I'll have them follow up. I request docs right away. As soon as they fill out the app, the doc request goes out. So they can upload it to a secure portal. I'll take a look at it, and then our minds come together and we work that all out.
So a lot of it can be done online, because if I don't have time to come see you in person, I can just do it from the comfort of my own home.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you can help anywhere in California, obviously. Any county, anywhere. All right. You want to just give your phone number real quick, and obviously I'll make sure everybody has it as well, but go ahead and just.
Absolutely. I can be reached at 916-213-2130.
I know that phone number by heart.
It's so easy. Yes, I love it. I've had it for years, so it's worked well for me. But I mean, simple questions. It could be that you're not even ready right now, and you just need some, some information and some counseling. That's our job.
I think it's great if you think you're not ready, but it would be important to give her a call, because she could at least run your credit and just let you know, hey, you know what, these are probably some things you should start working on that you can buy in the future. It's important to reach out and start early and not see the house of your dreams hit the market and then you want to start and you find out you may not be ready. So
knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you know will put you in that position. So
good stuff. All right. Anything else you think we missed or we should say? I think that's what I wanted to cover.
Yeah. I think those were all good starting points. I mean, obviously it's not a one loan fit all, it's everybody has different needs and different loan programs that'll fit them. But I think give us a call. That's where you start is you give us a call. And the process starts there.
Gloria will handle it from there. And once Gloria gives you guys the money, I can help you guys find the house.
There you go. Teamwork.
See her for the money, see me for the house.
There you go.
All right, Gloria. So we're going to have to do this again because obviously not everybody's in law enforcement. I'm sure there's a million other questions that will come out of this, but I at least wanted to let people know where to start and what's available. And I think we got that. So
absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
It's been great. You're welcome.
I'll make sure everybody has your info and hopefully people will reach out to you with more specific questions.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.